Hello, welcome back to my channel Planner Hopper. My name is Jennifer. You can find me on Instagram as well under the same name, Planner Hopper. Thank you for being here today and taking the time to watch a video. If you like what you have to hear, please subscribe so you can follow along on my planner and stationery journey. Today, I just wanted to talk really quickly about staying consistent with journaling, even when it gets hard or time constraints mostly is what I'm going to talk about today. This week has been very busy between work and activities, and I haven't had as much time to journal that I would love to have every day. So I have multiple pages missing for my week, and I just kind of wanted to go over that real quickly with you guys to talk about how I process that and how I handle it. So, I did apologize for that. I'm not good at editing yet. I haven't actually tried, so I apologize for that little wonkiness in the camera. I just hit it, though I did figure out how to connect it to my desk, so I'm pretty excited about that. And a couple videos ago, I talked about my new camera holder that I got for my desk, so I don't have to have a shaky camera anymore, and finally was able to attach it to my desk. So I'm pretty excited about that, except for when I just hit it and it shakes the camera. And as I mentioned, time is busy kind of doing this planner YouTube channel on top of working full-time and 3 younger kids. So I know everyone who has a YouTube channel is busy, but I just am not prioritizing editing videos. So apologies if these videos need to be edited. Maybe if I get better at this or continue making videos, I can improve or attempt my editing skills, or hire out my children to do that for me. We'll see how the journey goes. If people continue to like my videos or have an interest, and I keep having energy to make videos, then we'll see. Maybe I'll get better at editing. So, as I said, today I just would like to talk a little bit about when you miss days in journaling. So, for me, I really like to have some sort of documentation on my days. That started pretty strongly for me, I would say 2 to 3 years ago. I'd have to go back and look at my planners. The years kind of fly by. I suppose it's already 2025. I think I was doing it pretty consistently in 2023, but even when I look back at my Hobonichi cousin was my primary one. I hopped around a lot, of course, in 2023. When I go back and look at my journal entries, I definitely was not writing consistently as much as I write these days. Whether that's good or bad, it doesn't really matter. It's personal preference, how much you want to write. I've just kind of increased how much I've written over the last couple years, and which can make it harder when you have an expectation that you're going to fill up. I use 2 pages per day. I have that expectation of myself. It kind of puts a lot of pressure as well. That's unnecessary. So I've been more lenient on myself to be okay with not filling up 2 full days. I'll think if I flip back here to some, like you can see here, I didn't fill up this entire page. I'm sure at the end of January, I thought, I'm going to go back and fill those in and add a few more things that happened those days. Well, you can see, I had 2 days where I did not fill in the 2 full pages. And it used to bother me more. It doesn't bother me as much now. And you can see some days I do fill up the entire 2 pages. It kind of just depends on what's going on as well. Our lives aren't overly exciting, which I'm incredibly thankful for. Mostly just school, work, and go to activities. So it's kind of the mundane day-to-day activities that I'm documenting, or if the kids do or say funny things, or just, little happy comments if I get to see a friend, or things the kids do. But back to my point, multiple days where I don't fill in 2 pages. And that's okay. I'm not okay. I will say I'm not okay with it in the day or in the next couple days after. But looking back now a month later, I'm okay with this. Who cares that I didn't fill up 2 whole pages? It doesn't actually matter. I have so much written like this day. I'm sure, I could have been planner hopping, so I still need to go back and move everything over. But so it's impossible that I have this second half written in a different planner, that I need to go back and fill this in. Or it's possible that I don't have anything on this page at all. That's okay. You know, someday, if I ever got around to it, I could go in and doodle or color. I am not skilled at doodling, but, you know, it's always in the back of my mind as a goal. So this week, and, you know, like February, I have a cover page here. I haven't even filled in my cover pages for February. Same with January's. Someday I'll hopefully sit down and color in, or even if I just, you know, do very random coloring like diagonal lines in February-ish colors, that would be good enough. But a lot of things I have yet to get back to. Here was planner hopping, so there's blank days that are in this journal that I have to come back in, and I want to repopulate them here. I know it's a lot of rewriting, and some people might think that's a waste of time. I don't really care. I like them. I want this journal to be complete. So getting to this week, I started using these highlighter colors. That's what I used to do in my cousin. I had 4 colors picked out, 1 general color. I have 3 kids. So 1 general color for myself or the family in general, and then 1 color for each kid. And earlier this week, I decided, because you can see, like, I had been I just would write at the top what everyone had. And I like that. I like the all black and white tri-colored ink. But I kind of was missing how I would write or have 3 colors for each, or 1 for each kid. So you can see this week I have gone back to that. And I'm really liking the colors I picked out. You know, I have them here. I can link them if anyone is interested in the set of mild liner brush pens that I picked. So you can see today's Friday. I'm filming this on Friday, February 28th. And I have part of Monday written. Nothing yet for Tuesday. Barely anything for Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, I just colored in my highlighters right before I filmed this. So I'm very much behind on my journaling this week. We've just had activities. A lot of times I'll write during activities at night, but I've been walking during the activities because I haven't been able to walk during the day, during work, because that's just been busy. It's just, the days have been flying by. I'm sure everyone feels that way, but definitely flying by, and not getting the time that I would like to journal. So my goal this weekend is to go back and journal. And like I said, it's going to bother me initially that I will most likely won't fill up the entire 2 pages for each of these days. But I know in 2 weeks, a week, even a few days from now, I won't care as much. So I'm okay with that. As long as I can write down a few highlights of what happened that day, that's my plan. Or you can see here, I made a little, in pencil, made little notes quick last night of things I know for sure happened on Wednesday that I want to write about. And I don't know how blurry or how clear this is, but, you know, my top line is drive-by murder. That sounds very disturbing to have that written down in pencil, but there happened to be a domestic violence case, unfortunately, where I live this week. And when I was driving home from lunch that day, I happened upon the location of it like an hour probably after it was happening. So there was a lot of police activity. I hesitate saying this because where I live is one of the best places to raise children, and it's very unfortunate and sad that that happened. But I've made this comment before. I mostly write about my family and things happening within our family, but I want to start adding more local events or national events, global events to my journal, just for a little reference someday when I'm reading it to remember what's going on. So that was significant here, and the fact that I drove by the location not too long after it happened probably. So I made a note in pencil. I also made a note in pencil that I had lunch with my friend that day, because I want to remember those things happened when I go back and write. Hopefully I'll sit down tonight and get to journal, or I will sit down and fall asleep while journaling, which happens sometimes when the week's so busy and I get so tired by the end of it. So I don't really have anything overly constructive to say here. I know a lot of people would just say, just skip these days. Who cares you didn't write about them? So just why did I even fill in pages for it. Part of what I do, since I do 2 pages per day, is I can fill it in and leave that space. You know, sometimes in the past I would have like rolling days where maybe I would write to here one day and then I would start the next day right below it. You know, well, when I've missed 4 days, it's hard to know how much I'm going to write for each of these days. So that's one thing I love about doing 2 pages per day is I know it's set. Even if I don't fill it up, it's okay, but it's there. And in 3 weeks, if I remember something random that did happen on this day, I can go back and write that down because I'll have the pages available and assigned to that day. So there are things, in 30 years really won't matter if I ever go back and read this, but for me in this moment, it was exciting and fun that we went back to the first outdoor soccer game this week. It was just a scrimmage, but the weather's been lovely here. And so they scheduled an outdoor scrimmage rather than sitting cooped up inside all winter, having soccer games and practices. It was really exciting that, last night we were able to go watch a soccer game, and it was cold by the time the sun set, but it was lovely to sit outside and watch a soccer game and enjoy the weather. So I want to make sure I make note of that in my journal. So that's my plan. Not overly constructive or helpful, but just, I suppose, an encouragement to say, keep journaling, keep documenting life, because life is so valuable and short. It's fun to have a memory of what we've done. So just try to be consistent with your journaling. And even if you miss a day, if you're like me and you have space available to journal for that space later, then use it. Go make a few notes of something you did, something you remember, even if it's just one quick line. Or if you don't do dedicated pages and you do rolling days, you could always, if you were doing rolling days, you could say you're in the middle of March 13th writing about it. But you can make a note that says, oh, I just remembered that on February 27th, this happened. And again, in 30 years, this actually a side note and tangent here, so my apologies, but it used to really bother me. And I would get obsessive about making sure that I would make a note on the exact day it happened. Finally, it hit me one day. Oh my goodness, in 20 years, it's not gonna matter to me whether it happened on Monday or Tuesday of this week. It doesn't actually matter. The fact is, it just mattered. I'm talking more specifically to like if a kid lost a tooth or something. Okay, if I wrote it down on the wrong day, who cares? As long as I'm in like, the general vicinity of the week or the month that it happened, that's fantastic. That's great. I just want the memory of it when I'm older. So keep journaling, keep documenting, even if you've missed days, see if you can find some time to give yourself to catch up if you have the time available. And if not, it's okay too. It's okay if you miss some days. But, pick up a notebook, start writing, start documenting your life. It's fun to remember things happen. Or I say that I should, preface it, or whatever the word I'm looking for is that I can't think of right now. My life, I love my life. The hardest thing in my life is figuring out what pen color to use. I'm very fortunate. People are currently healthy and life's going well. So when I say life is fun, document it, I am aware that life is not fun for everyone, but still document it. Document what's going on. Reflection is helpful. When you look back at it later, you might find things later in life that were happening and you can reflect on it at that point. But either way, keep writing, keep journaling, keep documenting, and at least at a minimum, you get to use fun paper and pens. That's exciting. So thank you for being here today. Let me know if you journal regularly. Do you journal every day? Do you just try to journal, randomly when you have something to talk about? I'd love to know what other people do. Please, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe and even share it with your friends. I would love to spend more time with people who enjoy journaling and stationery. Thank you and have a great day.